對自己一個測試，自己有幾多定力呢？會唔會受隔離影響呢？又或者測試下自己有幾多覺知呢？有冇瞓着咗覺呢？瞓着咗覺起身，繼續都係跟住嗰個字讀翻落去。如果唔係呢，淨係韋羅斯喺度讀嘅時候呢，你就跟住韋羅斯唱，就係我哋有時講叫念口簧啊，變咗讀咗都唔知自己讀咗乜嘢經。咁所以呢，就呢個《法華經》嘅經會就係如是如是咁讀經。I'm just explaining to some of the new friends who haven't come today, haven't come before, so just to tell them this is a very strange chanting ceremony. It is really a very different, not strange, different chanting ceremony. OK， 因為我哋讀《法華經》咧，咁我哋就係配合呢個經會，我哋就講《法華經》嘅開示啊。咁我哋大家都聽到今晚係第3晚啦，係咪？有冇明白多咗少少關於至少火宅品嘅前半句先啦？係咪啊 ？Have you understood a little bit more about the burning house? At least the burning house, the front part of burning house. Yeah, you understood a little bit more, right? Yeah, it's actually very interesting how those hidden meanings are. 嚇，實在係好不可思議啊！嗬，原來嗰啲字嘅背後嗰個解釋係咁樣嘅。所以咪想我因為要講法華經，咁我咪睇法華經咯，嗬。咁我成台都係書，嗰張台係2張呢張個，全部擺滿晒書。你睇完呢本睇嗰本，越睇就越開心啊！成日睇到都唔想瞓覺啊！又睇到都差唔多成日都唔記得要食飯啊！所以即係如果你同嗰本經契經咧，你就越睇越好開心嘅。越睇越興奮。Because I have to talk about the Lotus Sutra, right? I'm not teaching, I'm just talk about it. So I need to do a lot of reading, and I have so many reference books. So my table is as big, twice the size of this, and it's all books everywhere. So right here. Sometimes I'm so in the book that I forget that I need to go for lunch. I forget to go to sleep. You can see when you are so strongly affiliated with the Dharma, it brings you so much joy, and you just don't want to leave that book alone. So, especially when talking about metaphors, it's just like last year your comment, Bersha. The whole picture is in here. Even though I'm not an artist, but the whole picture seems to be here. 好得意啊！當你睇經睇得多嘅時候，尤其是去呢個譬喻品咧，好似一個故事咁咧。我唔識畫畫，但係好似有 Bersha 舊年佢咪分享佢讀法華經後嘅感受。佢話好似一幅幅嘅圖畫喺自己個腦袋，我都有咁嘅感覺。但我唔識畫畫，如果我識畫畫，我真係會畫佢出嚟。所以我唔識畫畫，來生希望發願來生啊。OK， 所以我哋今日繼續講法華經啊，繼續講呢個法華七語。大家都知道我哋仲未講完啦嚇，講咗3天都係講緊火宅語啊。So you know, this is the third day of actually talking about the burning house, the parable of the burning house, which is actually a very, very important sutra among the whole sutra or Lotus Sutra. This is actually the essence of the first part of Lotus Sutra, and it actually is so connected to the latter sutras that come along. 火宅語咧，實在係《法華經》嘅前半部嘅一個好重要嘅中心思想嚟嘅。咁所以一路跟住落去嘅話咧，實在去幾部一路跟落去嘅經咧，實在係由個火宅語度一路連續落去嘅。咁所以呢個火宅語咧，我覺得花多少少時間講都係好值得嘅。So I think it's very worthwhile to actually spend a little more time on this metaphor, this the burning house. 我哋琴日咧就講到垂珠花英嗬，咁啊大家我哋琴日講咗啦，花英嘅垂即係話攝受咁解啦，花英即係乜嘢啊？幾多法啊？4攝法係乜嘢啊？布施、 愛語履行同時係啦 OK so so this is the hanging each was a string of precious stones and garlands. So if you would want to actually correct that word it is on page 114 on the English book on the fourth paragraph, the fifth line after the full stop, after the jewels, precious jewels, around each was a string. I was, according to the Chinese translation, it should be hanging there. Hanging each was a string of precious stones and garlands. Around and hanging is actually quite different. So this is the four. What is the garlands and precious stones and garlands of flowers represent? They represent the four methods of guidance we talked about last night. The first is generosity, right, giving. And the second one is pleasant speech or kind speech. And the third one is beneficial action, meaningful action, beneficial action. The fourth one is consistency in relationship and with integrity and like harmonious relationship, a consistent relationship with or integrity in somebody. All right. So the next one is 跟住落嚟㗎啦。呢個大白牛車咧係有啲乜嘢喺度咧？重夫婉言啊，言咧喺我哋中國字嘅係代表乜嘢啊？筵席啊，係咪好似大排筵席啊？係嘛？大排筵席咪即係點啊？重夫咧即係鋪晒咁解，夫即係鋪住啊嘛，鋪咗喺地下咁解。咁啊，重夫婉言咧就係一大排好靚好靚咁嘅嘢。好靚嘅地氈啊，咁所以佢咧喺英文譯咧，佢就叫做 beautiful mats。inside were beautiful mats 啊，but in the Chinese actually translation it says it's actually it's stacks of really beautiful mats stacking up。stacking 重啊 ，that means piles。咁呢個究竟係咩意思咧 ？Can you guess what does that mean？ 好難咯，嗬！淨係睇個字面真係估唔到係咩。太虛大師話咧，呢個婉言咧就係解釋咩嘢？婉言解釋咧，身口意三業清淨。即係等於點啊？身意清淨，口意清淨，意業清淨，一層一層咧。Okay. So what does it mean? This it meant bodily, mentally, verbally, mentally pure. So in the Chinese it said stacks, right? Stacks. So bodily wholesome purity, one stack, and then verbal, another stack, and then the mental, another stack of beautiful mats stacking on each other. And can you sense inside the big white ox carriage with the stacks of beautiful mats, like a thick波斯點講啊 Persian carpet, right? 係咪好似好厚嘅波斯地氈喺個大白牛車入邊？你話你行落去，你覺得彈下。So when you walk in, it's sort of like, it's bouncing, it's so comfy, right? Otherwise, it's not like walking on stones, 係咪？唔似喺呢個石仔喺啲 pebble 上面行咁啊！ 咁好啦，跟住落咧，呢個大白牛車有咩啊？安置單枕啊！大家都知單枕係乜嘢啦？單即係咩啊？咩色啊？紅色啦，係啦，單即係紅色啦。枕咧，枕頭啊。咁啊，佢就話呢個大白牛車入邊咧有好靚嘅紅色嘅枕頭。哇！你話咩嚟嘅紅色枕頭啊？Rose-colored pillows. What does it mean? What are pillows for? 枕頭要做咩㗎？休息嘛 ，sleeping, resting, for resting, right? That means when you are resting, unless you are like you are having nightmares or whatever, then you toss and turn all the time. Otherwise, you'll be when you are in deep sleep and you are very calm and quiet, and when you are asleep, you don't move, then you are resting. And you're resting, you are in a very balanced, calm state. And that means you are in a very deep jhana state. 呢個從安置單枕咧，即係話我哋瞓咗落床咧，除非你哋發惡夢咧，成日轉嚟轉去咧，係咪啊？好似嗰啲人瞓覺打旋風嗰啲啦，嗰啲梗係唔會係安置單枕啦。安置單枕好安靜啊，安靜將個頭瞓咗落去一個紅色嘅枕頭入邊，即係表示乜嘢啊？喺呢度表示話呢一隻大白牛車好定好穩，喺一個好深嘅禪定入邊。It's very interesting, so interesting. Just by seeing this, I want to ride on a great white ox. 我淨係睇到呢啲，我想騎上隻大白牛車啦，係咪啊？我真係唔要羊車，我又唔要鹿車，我要隻大白牛車啊！Would you like a goat carriage after seeing this? No, we always all pick the great white ox, right? 佢仲有係乜嘢啊？大筋力嘅 very powerful， 大白牛車嘛，有名俾你叫啦 ，the big white ox carriage， 梗係點啊 ？Of course, it's very powerful。呢個大筋力即係代表乜嘢？我哋成日都稱釋迦牟尼佛係咩啊？大咩啊？大悲、大慈、大悲、大雄、大力啊嘛，係咪啊？ So we always understand the Buddha as with a lot of infinite metta, infinite karuna, 大慈大悲大雄。雄係點解啊？雄係咩意思啊？英雄即係咩啊？好威武嘛，係咪啊 ？Very very strong and very sturdy， 大力又係 very powerful。好啦，咁佢但係呢個 power 呢個力喺邊度嚟㗎？係個根嚟㗎，大根，係咪啊？大根，但係呢個大根力即係代表乜嘢？係點解佢要大？點解會大慈大悲大雄大力咧？我成日你哋跟我學打坐，我成日都講，當我哋要修慈悲觀嘅時候，我一定要明白乜嘢啊？要基於喺一個乜嘢嘅基礎上邊啊？如果唔係，我哋嗰個係婆媽嘅慈悲觀啊！我聽到邊個講智慧啊？係智慧啊！即係話般若啊，係咪啊？智慧一定要基於喺一個智慧嗰度，因為點解咧？咁樣我哋先至會可以所有斷晒所有一切惡，一切善都會成功。如果唔係嘅話咧，係冇可能㗎。So, where does this power come from? What is 智慧？啊 ？What is 智慧 ？Forgot? Why? 智慧 Panya。般若 What is 般若？般若波羅蜜多心經 ，You forgot your 般若波羅蜜多心經啊 ？What is 般若？般若 is Panya。What's wisdom, right? So, where does the power come from? Power comes from wisdom. Come from the wisdom. And because with this wisdom as is GPS, as his pioneer, so as his leading force, as his direction, so all the wholesome deeds would definitely accomplish, and all the unwholesome deeds would definitely be totally eradicated because of the power of this panya, the wisdom. All right? And then walking with a smooth gait, 行步平靜，即係唔會話行到歪嚟歪正東歪西倒咁。So walking with a smooth gait, that means it's very balanced, very calm, and very steady, right? Not walking like wobbly. Okay. 咁行步平靜即係點啊？呢個大白牛車係代表乜嘢啊？代表佢能夠可以讓我哋因為有呢個智慧，我哋可以降服乜嘢啊？我哋嘅煩惱。我哋如何降服煩惱啊？唯有我哋睇得到空相，我哋就可以降服煩惱啦。人我以空，我哋就可以降服煩惱。如果我哋成日有人執有我執嘅話，我哋就好難降服煩惱。我哋因為點解有人執有我執嘅時候，我哋好容易就起一個乜嘢分別心，一起分別心就變咗唔係空相啦嘛，變咗我相啦嘛。一落咗我相，咪容易起煩惱啊！我啱你錯，我叻你蠢，我靚你醜，我有錢你窮，你聽唔聽我話？因為我大晒，全部都係我嘛 ，right？ 所以呢個呢，就係行步平靜呢，即係代表佢已經擁有咗一個空性嘅智慧。擁有咗呢個空性嘅智慧嘅時候，佢就完全可以冇晒煩惱啦。Okay, so this is walking with a smooth gait. That means very calm, very steady, very, very, very sturdy and very steady. And what does it mean? It means it can subdue all afflictions, all defilements. Because why? Because the power of panya. Because of the power of panya, that's why it can actually see that whether it's you or me, whether it's this or that, is completely empty. Sunyata. You still remember what is sunyata? What does sunyata mean? Emptiness. Good. Okay. Good. After a year, you still remember. That's not too bad. Let's test it 2 years later. Okay, so because of this attainment of true emptiness, there is no me, no mine. And without me and mine, there is no judgment. Without judgment, there is no afflictions and defilements. That's the result of having panya. And the panya actually results from seeing emptiness. Yeah? So this is walking with a smooth gait. And the last one is fast as the speed of the wind. 其疾如風啊！佢個乜嘢？呢個疾唔係疾病喎，呢個疾唔係疾病喎，佢只個步伐嗰咁解喎嚇。佢行到好快。我哋喺中國嘅禪宗，我哋咪有一句説話講咩啊？行如風啊，係咪啊？行如風啊！點解行如風啊？就因為有個禪定啫嘛。有個禪定嘅行如風。嗱，你聽過啦？你聽過達摩祖師係咪一位道光啊？你會覺得冇可能，點可能一位道光？完全有可能，因為佢喺深禪定嘅時候，整個肉體係輕㗎，係完全冇重量嘅，佢唔使毀佢都可以道光。所以當佢呢個地水火風係完全喺一個輕嘅狀態，全部係粒子嘅狀態嘅時候，度度都可以飄動，度度都可以去啊！但我哋唔係嘛，我哋成日都孭住100幾200磅，重啲嗰陣時隻腳就拖啲，輕啲嗰陣時隻腳輕啲，係咪啊？所以我哋有個咁嘅重量，因為我哋點啊？呢樣嘢未空，仲係執住咗。咁所以我哋咪行路咪變咗點啊？拖拉咯。所以佢哋唔能夠奇疾如風。但係呢個奇疾如風實在係解乜嘢呢？實在就係解，因為佢個智慧已經圓滿咗啦。圓滿呢個智慧，呢個般若係圓滿嘅。圓滿咗呢個般若呢，佢實在呢就係去到呢個涅槃嘅境界，係要好似風嘅速度咁去到涅槃境界。哇！犀利喎，唰一聲咁去咗。 即係呢個術已經太慢啦，係嘛？啊，呢個就係行疾如奇疾如風就係咁解。啊，呢隻大白牛車，你諗下佢唔 speeding 嘅，佢唔使 speeding 嘅，佢係 invisible speeding 嘅，無形 speeding，一聲就去咗啦。OK， what does it mean by fast as the speed of the wind? The big white ox can just zoom like this. Where does it go? Buddhahood, right? Where can it go? Where will it go? Right? So it means right here, that means this great white ox is already completed with perfect panya, perfect wisdom. So that's why when it's actually has completed or attained perfect wisdom, it can just attain Buddhahood like this. Okay? So I don't know whether you have heard of a Zen story, a Zen master called Bodhidharma who came from India to China, and he walked through Cant River, 係咪啊？江係咪大過 river？ 係咪大過河啊？江係大過河定細過河啊？有話大有話細。中文老師大係嘛？哦，江係大過河。A river bigger than a river. Okay. Okay. Because in Chinese, there's a river called Ho, and there's a gong called a river bigger than a river. Okay. And in the English, there's no such word. Okay. So, what? Stream? No, stream 係細嘅。stream 係河啊，差 stream 係溪啊，係啊 stream 係溪啊。江我諗英文冇啊，嗬？邊個喺度長大嘅？土星仔有冇啊？冇啊。Wing 你都算係土星啦，係嘛？你係咪查緊啊？幫我查下睇有冇係啊？江啊 river bigger than a river, okay? Bigger, larger than a river. The Bodhidharma, he is a Zen master. He came from India, wanting to spread the essence of Zen to Chinese. And he traveled across a river bigger than a river. It's so cute, isn't it? With the 蘆葦係咩啊 ？Wheat 啊，唔係 willow wheat 啊 ，wheat. You know those big weed, like not little weeds, big weeds, like very beautiful big weeds with a lot of furs on top. We have those. No, that's not rye. Rye is what Po Lam have. Big weeds, like pretty fur. Bulrush? It's called bulrush, B-U-L-L. Oh, is that what it's called? Yeah, you know, one of our neighbors on Velma, they have it, the second house. Okay, bulrush. Oh, bulrush, yeah, rushing. Yeah. So, Bodhidharma actually stand on one of those bulrush and across the river, which is bigger than a river. How can he do this? Because he's in such a deep jhana that his four elements are completely in dissolution. Complete dissolution. It's all particles, just floating. There's no heaviness in here. We weigh 100, we weigh 150, we weigh 200. So our gait was just like a big bull. Boom, boom, boom. Not like a big white ox. Okay? 有冇啊？Oh, okay. Big river. Yeah, so big river bigger than river. Thank you. Okay, so these is what are inside the big white ox. But these three, Daigandic, powerful, 行步平靜 walking with a smooth gait 奇疾如風 fast as the speed of the wind actually describe that big white ox 大白牛就係咁樣噶啦，上邊係講個車嘅啫，係咪啊？The top things are talking about the carriages, but this one is talking about the great white ox, and this is the key point, the great white ox. So this actually tells us what those who are walking on this path, practicing the Buddha's teachings and vowing for Bodhisattva, to walk on the Bodhisattva path. Those people will eventually possess all these wonderful merits, all this parami, and the whole body would be so glamorous, so serene. 莊嚴真係好難譯㗎嗬。Ida 莊嚴係點譯啊？Serene, presentable, beautiful. It can really describe. You can only say this altar is beautiful, right? Is that what you can describe it? Huh? Solemn, no. Solemn 係嚴肅。You can only say it's beautiful, right? But in Chinese, there's a 莊嚴。A 莊嚴 is not really beautiful. It's way beautiful than beautiful. and it doesn't. A 莊嚴 is not to actually like you are a beautiful woman. No, you are a 莊嚴師兄。嚇 ？Solemn 啊，真係用 solemn 啊 ？Really, solemn is sounds like 嚴肅嘅嗬。It's very different. Exquisitely beautiful. Exquisitely, perfectly beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, these are the teachers, so they know. Thank you. Okay, so that means it's because all these jewels, all these pillows are beautifying the carriage. Exquisitely beautifying the carriage, right? So, and the parami actually is exquisitely beautifying the ox. Okay. 所以實在呢啲種種咧，實在係表示乜嘢？表示我哋一個修學正法嘅人，發菩薩心嘅人，佢慢慢會栽培得到，因為佢修六波羅蜜、六度萬行出嚟，佢個莊嚴色身，佢個色身會慢慢變得莊嚴，相貌變得莊嚴。咁佢個行為咧，就好似啲瓔珞咁靚、咁清淨、咁乾淨、咁靚。So their deeds will be like the jewels, so beautiful, so clean and so pure. 所以如果我哋係能夠堅持走喺呢一條菩薩行嘅道上邊嘅話咧，我哋始終咧就係會點啊？同發願修菩薩行嘅人喺埋一齊㗎，係咪啊？ So if we actually persevere to walk on this Bodhisattva path, then definitely we will be walking with those people who are on the same path too, right? Right? 咁所以就話我哋個個咧就將來咧識得嗰啲咧就大家都係變成菩薩啦。我哋因為發咗菩薩行啊嘛，我哋發咗菩薩願行在菩薩道上啊嘛，咁我哋大家第時口熟面熟噶啦。因為大家一路點啊，一路拍住膊頭上，拍住去上，修咩啊？修菩薩行嘛。So maybe next lifetime you will bump into me again. And you will bump into your Sihing again. Because why? We all have vowed to walk on this Bodhisattva path. Okay, so this is actually 呢個講個中文先啦。實在呢個大白牛喎，就係話俾我哋聽。當你成佛㗎，你行去佛道，你成佛嘅時候，係嗰個莊嚴啊，係幾咁莊嚴，幾咁安穩，幾咁有力，幾咁有智慧。So this whole white ox, this whole beautiful white ox is a depiction of what? Depiction of when we attain this Buddhahood, when we are walking, at least walking towards that state of, towards the attainment of Buddhahood, we will become solemnly, exquisitely beautiful. And then we will become very wise because of the panya. We will become very stable because of the jhana. And we will become very powerful because of also the jhana. Okay? 咁佢喺呢個經文又再講，佢如彼長者啊，如彼長者初二三車遊人住子，然後但與大車寶物莊嚴安忍特地等等等等等。如來亦復如是無有虛妄，初說三乘引導眾生，然後但以大乘而度脫之。咁啲人話佛陀係咪講大話啊？佢明明話有羊車、鹿車、牛車喺出邊嘅，點知出咗嚟之後又唔俾羊車、唔俾牛車、又唔俾鹿車，點解佢俾咗個大白牛車？咁係咪佛陀講大話？梗係佛陀唔係講大話啦，無有虛妄啊！佛陀梗係唔係講大話啦，佢係用呢個三乘去引嗰啲點啊？引嗰啲無知嗰啲眾生啊嘛，喺個火宅入邊燒到屎下都唔肯出嚟，仲唔去引你嘛？仲出盡辦法引你出嚟啦，係咪啊？救你出嚟啊！好似消防員咁啫嘛，或者好似啲人想自殺嗰啲勸導人你唔好自殺嗰啲，唔猛去到用晒所有方法㗎，係咪？出晒所有方法點啊？希望佢唔好自殺嘛。消防員亦都係點啊？入去救火，孭住大氧氣筒入去都係點樣？希望救多啲人出嚟啫嘛。用晒所有方法，係希望救咗佢出嚟之後，就點啊？佛陀話：我仲有一啲寶藏啊！嗰啲寶藏係比呢啲寶藏更加好嘅。我送呢啲寶藏俾你啦。呢個就係大白牛車啦。Okay. So he says, the next passage is on page 118. He says, Sariputra, the elder, at first attracted the children with the 3 carriages and afterward gave them just one great carriage decorated with jewels, which was the safest and most comfortable carriage. The Tathagata does the same. This is no falsehood. You would think, hey, the Buddha promised a goat, a deer, and an ox carriage. Why would he end up giving the white ox? Don't you want a white ox? Then a deer? I want 2 white oxes. Right? So the Buddha wasn't lying. There is no falsehood because he just wanted to use skillful means to tempt, to attract, to persuade, to convince the children in the burning house to come out of the danger. And after they have come out of the danger to be in a safe place, then he said, this is the greatest treasure that I have, and I want you to have this. And this is because of the compassion, because of the metta. 佛陀點解可以俾個大白牛車？因為佢個慈心無量。佢點解要救呢啲眾生出嚟？因為佢悲心無量。So he wants to give us this big white ox because he's the infinite metta. He wants to save us from this burning house because of the infinite karuna. Okay, so there is no falsehood in teaching the 3 vehicles first to attract living beings and afterward using just the great vehicle to save them. 所以佛陀就好似一個長者咁，用最好嘅大乘嘅佛法俾我哋，希望我哋呢啲眾生係從呢個生死呢個岸 到一個了脫生死嘅對岸。但係我哋成日都係愚痴迷執，我哋唔識接受，唔識睇，亦都唔識感恩，唔識欣賞，更加唔好講話識利用添啦，係咪啊？所以呢個係邊個嘅問題？係我哋自己嘅問題，係唔關人事嘅。So the compassion of the Tathagata, of the Buddha, is just like this old father, this wealthy old father, wanting the best for the kids. So the Tathagata, the Buddha, is the same. He wanted us to leave this ocean of sufferings to go to the other side of the oceans. But we are so ignorant, and we are so blind, and we are so stubborn, and we are so attached that no matter what is in front of us, we don't know what to take and how to take and where to use it. Whose problem? Our problem. Nobody's problem. Our problem. Okay. So 呢個火宅語我同你講過啦，7個譬如係降服7個我慢心。呢個火宅語咧降服一個叫顛倒求諸功德增上慢心，即係咩意思？佢即係話咧，好似咩叫顛倒咧？我哋讀心經咪讀過嘅，顛倒遠離顛倒夢想嘛，係咪啊？遠離顛倒夢想啊！咩叫顛倒夢想？即係我哋成日就以苦為樂，係咪啊？以假為真啊！我哋成日就追求嗰啲嘢咧，以為追到就會有快樂，點知原來追到佢點啊？我唔係快樂得幾耐嘅啫，一陣就冇咗，因為點解？佢消失㗎嘛，無常啊嘛，係嘛？我哋唔明嘅時候，我哋咪變咗點啊？越嚟越追求咯。咁啊，呢啲顛倒夢想嘅眾生咧，就成日以為自己好大不了嘅，好威水嘅，呢個叫增上慢心。所以呢個窮子語咧，唔係呢個火宅語咧，就係幫助呢啲求功德嘅眾生啊，諗住即係二乘人啊嘛，二乘人啦，收到二乘啦嘛，聲聞乘我圓滿咗咯喎，我唔使噶啦，你嗰班人真係唔聽啊，唔聽佢個阿爸叫佢出嚟啊，我見到阿爸阿爸咁啊繼續玩啊，係咪？就係咁樣啫嘛，就係咁樣，佢哋就點啊？內心有一種不知不覺嘅我慢心，唔關我事，我唔使理佢，我叻過去，我唔使聽你講。呢個就係呢個火宅語咧，就係要對住呢班眾生。So the burning house metaphor is actually to subdue the inverted arrogance. What does it mean by inverted arrogance? That means we are upside down all the time. Aren't we upside down? What does the Heart Sutra say? We would like to distance from all the upside down. Right? All our dreams, all our defilements, all our afflictions, all our inverted views. That means wrong views. Right? So when we have wrong views, like the Sravaka, they have attained Sravaka. They were Sravaka already, right? High attainment, high Nibbana. And they thought, I'm done. Like the children inside the burning house, they think that, nice, I can keep playing in here. But they didn't know that the fire was so dangerous. They're going to burn into ash, become ashes. And they even say hello to their father and then forget the father and then keep playing. So that is ignorance. And in that ignorance, that deep down there is a sense of arrogance in there. So this burning house is actually for people with such an arrogance of thinking that, I have enough merits. I have done enough, and this is good enough. I don't need any more. I don't need to pursue any more. This burning house is the metaphor for those people to keep learning to subdue that kind of arrogance. Okay, so I have summarized this for you, and it is very easy to understand, much easier to understand. So the 表上火宅 okay, it presents as a burning house, and what does it mean? The metaphor, that means the tiloka, samkai, right? It presents as fire. What does it mean? The 5 turbidities and the 8 sufferings. And presents as the 3 carriages. What does it mean? that means the three vehicles, the Sravaka, the Praktika Buddha, and the Bodhisattva path. And then the goat-drawn carriages, that means the Sravaka. The deer, that means the Praktika Buddha. And then on the bottom part is the ox-drawn carriage, that means the great vehicle, that means the Bodhisattva path. The Bodhisattva path, okay? And the great white ox-drawn, that means the great teachings that lead you to complete, perfect Buddhahood. So that means the one Buddha vehicle teachings, all right? So who is the rich man? The rich man is the Tathagata, the Buddha. So who are the children? The children are us. 係咪啊？嚇，睇到嘛？對唔住，頭先冇講中文，你識睇啦嗬？你明啦嗬？實在係咪好容易明啊？睇咗呢個表，師父一早講呢個表，將個表擠出嚟就講晒，唔使講3日㗎啦。If I have presented this summary, I don't have to spend 3 days in explaining the burning house, right? Isn't it? Next time I'll just put out a chart like this, okay? So, okay, this is strange. Okay, so this burning house, skillful means. The skillful means 方便法啊，實在呢個方便法要具有3個特徵。方便法門啊，要具有3個特徵。第一個特徵，佢就一定係有方便嘅。第二個特徵係好適合嘅，好適合乜嘢？好適合某一個人用嘅。第三個特徵，佢係要好有效嘅，咁先叫方便法。So being a skillful means, it needs 3 characteristics in order to be called a skillful means. First, it has to be skillful. Second, it has to be appropriate. Appropriate, that means appropriate for this person, you give this skillful means. For that person, you give that skillful means. And then the third one, it has to be effective. If it is not effective, that means it's not a skillful means. If it is not appropriate, it's not a skillful means. 如果佢唔係有效嘅話呢，或者佢唔係合適或者適合嘅呢，佢唔係一個方便法。方便、合適、有效。OK 嚇，咁所以呢，呢個呢就係一個大方便法大方便法。So this is the big skillful means。咁實在我哋睇到啦，我哋係咪咁睇係咪即係話羊車、鹿車、牛車？如果我哋未見到大白牛車嘅時候，係咪我哋羊車、鹿車、牛車，我哋都唔騎咧？咁唔係。So if we don't see the big white ox carriage, if we see a deer, a goat, an ox-drawn carriage, do we get on it? No? Yes. That's what it is all about. 梗係 get on it 啦，因為你要去坐大白牛車，你一定要坐咗呢3個車先得㗎。你一定要開始喺呢3個車度收先得㗎。你喺呢3個車唔收嘅話，你唔使收㗎啦。你以為一去就去到大白牛車啊？你係想啊，真係發緊夢啊！ Of course you need to, because these are the basic practices. If you don't practice this, you will never get to see the great white ox. If you haven't done all these past years Nikaya, I tell you, you won't come to a Lotus Sutra. If I throw you the Lotus Sutra, the very first day you come to Po Lam, you'll be scared away. You're all gone. Gone with the wind. Then never return. A river of no return. Right? But you see, you are here because why? You have a very strong basic in the Nikaya, in the goat in the deer carriage, in the path going to those carriages, to go into those destiny. And remember, the one great vehicle is inclusive of all these three vehicles. That's the most important concept that you have to bear in mind. 我哋記得啊，呢個一乘法係包括晒呢個方便法㗎，唔可以忘記呢樣嘢㗎。如果我哋唔走喺個方便法入邊，我哋唔可以唔打好呢個基礎，我哋係收唔到大成㗎。我哋打好呢個基礎就點樣？我哋可以由回小向大啦，我哋發大心啦，發大願啦，佢要去服務別人啦，去自利利他啦，呢個就叫回小向大啦。將自己改好啦，咁我哋就開始去點啊？去服務別人。So this is what the Buddha wanted us to do. Is we benefit ourselves from the teachings, from the lesser teachings. And then we vow ourselves to walk on this Bodhisattva path, and then we vow ourselves to benefit ourselves further and to benefit others, and also to serve others. 咁好啦，我哋話哇，師父，我哋要離開呢個火宅喎，咁即係我哋唔好做人啦，係咪啊？快啲死鬼咗啦！我求我又。聽日去極樂世界，極樂世界，由朝到晚都諗住死咗去極樂世界，死唔去噶嘛，咁唔使去極樂世界啦，係咪？咁就唔啱啦，你知道嘛？係唔啱啊，因為個火宅唔係喺呢個世界度，火宅喺邊度啊？喺個內心度啊！火宅唔係整個世界都係火宅，個火宅嘅可能係喺個 playground 嗰度，喺一個遊樂場嗰度，我哋要離開咗個遊樂場。出去嗰個清靜嘅地方，咁解啫。咁所以點解我哋要借假修真就係咁解啦。所以我哋要學識要回想。So we live in this world. So does it mean that the burning house? If the burning house is this world, that means we vow to leave this world as soon as possible. Then I will vow to, okay, I'll go to the Pure Land tomorrow. I'll die. Is that true? Is that what the Buddha teaching teaches? No. He just wanted us to come out of this burning house of our mind. This mind is the burning house. This afflicted, defiled mind is the burning house. He wanted us to come out. When we can come out and then we vow to walk on this Bodhisattva path, and we vow to study these lesser vehicles, and then vow for the greater vehicle. And vow to look forward to walk on this path to that greatest destiny. That's what the original mind of the Buddha. Okay? 所以如果我哋繼續喺呢條路上面行發大心大願嘅時候，我哋一定會有善果嘅，一定會有佢本身應該有嘅結果嘅。我哋唔使擔心嘅，亦都唔使諗。Okay, so if we vow ourselves to keep walking on this path, definitely that wonderful fruits will come. We don't have to worry. We don't have to expect. It will come naturally. Okay, right on. Good, eh? 好唔好聽啊？好好聽啊 ！So 三界火宅終於講完3天，講咗三界火宅，實在都唔簡單㗎，真係一品3個鐘頭，實在係好逼迫㗎嚇，所以你哋要好有耐性聽嘅，知唔知啊？ So you need a lot of patience to listen to this kind of metaphors. I can run through it within 15 minutes, telling you the story. That's all. But I want you to really understand the details in it. So 3 hours for one metaphor, I think it's just worth it. It's really worth it. And so you have to be very patient, okay? So, 好啦，咁就你未完㗎嚇，我哋要回向嘛，係。 願以此功德普及於一切我等與眾生，皆共成佛道。願我哋都能夠發一個菩薩心，行菩薩道，可以自利利他，照亮自己，照亮別人。May we all arouse ourselves to have this Bodhisattva vow and walk on this Bodhisattva path so that we benefit ourselves, we benefit others, we brighten up ourselves, we brighten up others. The world will be such a beautiful world. Okay. Oh, thank you. See you tomorrow. 今日冇人講嘢，點解成日都係男仔講嘅？點解唔俾女仔講？俾女仔講，今晚俾女仔講啦。Say something, please。係啊，點解成日俾男仔講 ？Yeah, please. Oh, Carrie， 哇！
Well, thank you, Sifu, for trusting us with this very sacred teaching. It's very meaningful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good.
And for delivering it in such a delightful way.
Thank you. Good. Thank you. 佢話咧，佢話好開心，我能夠可以同大家分享呢一個法，同埋咧講得咁輕鬆啊。Delightful 係咩？中文係咩？嚇？喜悅的開始啊 OK，so good night 啊夜夢吉祥 ，sweet dream and safe drive home. We safe drive home. 你仲有嘢講啊 KS？ 我見你攞翻個咪。
We want to express our utmost gratitude and we offer 3 bows to Sifus.
Oh, okay. 1 bow. 1 bow.